if you truly believe that your premium, high ticket, high value coaching offer is here to support your clients at the highest level, and you truly believe and have conviction in the results that you co-create with your clients, and you truly love the offer that you're selling, and you truly enjoy the work that you're doing in the world, then why are you not selling with love? Hello, beautiful, and welcome to Christian Moms in Sales. One of the things that women coaches say to me, or they've said to me over the last 7 years is, I don't want to be sleazy. I want to sell with love. I want to sell with integrity, especially when it comes to high ticket sales, because people think there's some separate rule, some separate integrity room that you go into and do breath work, and then you come out and you say the investment to work with me is $250,000. No. Selling with love is an extension of who God says you are in the world. It's an extension of who you're being as your natural self in the world. Selling with love is allowing God to do the work through you so that you show up as the woman, the leader that your client needs to see for her to remember who she is, raise her hand, ask for the sale, and say, you're the one I want to work with to lose 100 pounds. You're the one I want to work with to make 7 figures a month. You're the one I want to work with to balance my hormones and have that baby that the doctors tell me I can never have. You're the one that I want to work with so I can have better communication and sex with my husband. You're the one I want to work with to rehab my marriage so I don't have to go through that divorce. You're the one I want to work with so that divorce feels like cashmere on my children's nervous system. So how do you show up in your own coaching business and sell with love? We have bastardized what love means. If we don't love ourselves, we can't sell with love. If we don't love the offer we're selling, we can't sell with love. If we don't love the results we're co-creating, we can't sell with love. And if we don't believe that this is the highest level, this is the best thing for our clients, our heart won't let us lie, because sales is a heart game, not a numbers game. It's not a mindset game. It's not a closing game. It's not how many conversations you've had. It's who is God calling you to be. Are you fulfilling your assignment? And are you showing up with everything, an open heart and open hands, and being who God says you are for the work you're here to do in the world? Practically, what does that look like when you want to create a simple, profitable 7 or 8 figure coaching business? What does that look like when you are playing at your highest level, serving at your highest level, and you want to now go the high ticket route, where you're simplifying with maybe 5 clients or 6 clients and selling 100K offers or $1 million offer or 500K offer, whatever you determine it is for you. In my coaching business in the Prosperous One, when women come in and they tell me I want to up level my love game, I want to up level what I do, we look at the last 18 months of relationship and connection. We look at the last 18 months of pricing and packaging. Because one of the first steps in selling with love is identifying what space you've been playing in. And I call that the alignment. Have you been midwifing the gifts that God has given you into the most potent offer that you're here to serve in the world? Or have you been doing what's trending on Instagram? You know that offer that your coach sold for 8 figures? The one that makes her sell 8 figures in 8 days, and she has that high ticket sales funnel that if you use that funnel, you can do the same thing in 8 minutes. Is that what you've been chasing, trying to plug her formula into your prosperous womb? Or are you doing the thing that God has called you to do so you're fully aligned with it? Which means that because you're aligned with it, you have conviction in the results. Because you're aligned with it, you love what you do so much, you can't help but show up and sell. Because selling has now become service to you. It's like Niagara Falls has to come out because it serves us. It's so beautiful. It gives us this image of God and the grandness and greatness of God and the creativity of God. It doesn't stop itself from flowing because it's too much. It doesn't stop itself because maybe that person is going to criticize it. Niagara Falls is in full alignment with what God says it is. Do you love yourself enough to show up in full alignment to do the work that God has called you to do? Detach from everybody else's conversation. Detach from what people are doing. Stop sitting in the box with other coaches and masterminds, looking at each other, doing the same thing, trying to be like each other. And simply be and do the thing that God is doing through you. That's the first step of selling with love. It's not, oh, I'm the cheapest one, I'm the most affordable. That's hate. That's self-hate. We'll get to that. So that's the first part, is alignment. Are you midwifing your gifts that God has given you and serving that to the people? Then we'll look at how you're packaging and pricing this thing. Are you energetically cheating your clients where they owe you energy because you're taking a $250,000 coaching offer and stuffing it into a $25K or $10K offer so that people can afford you because you don't want to leave anyone behind because, oh my God, you're so good. Yeah. And they like you. Nobody has to like you. Jesus loves you. Nobody has to ever like you, okay? And here's the thing with the packaging. Your high-ticket coaching clients, the high-value clients you're talking to, are never going to see the offer or hear about you or know about you, no matter how many podcasts you go on, if you're undercharging, because they know the value of the results they want. And they know it doesn't cost 10K or 25K or 50K. A lot of times when clients come to the Prosperous Woman, especially when I was working with attorneys, the first thing they say to me is, I know this is going to be like $20,000. I already get that, and I'll figure it out. But I just want you to tell me, do you take payment plans? And at the time, I was charging only $7,500. This was 2017. And I would say, actually, it's less than 10K. And yes, I do investment plans if that's what you want. And they'll look at me and say, why is it only $7,500? And at the time, I thought I was stealing candy from a baby. And my coach at the time was telling me, Mimi, you need to raise your prices. I need you to look at your self-worth, identify the value of the work that you're doing, and know what to charge so that your clients are aligned with the investment to work with you, and you're not speaking to clients, you're not here to serve, which is what 99% of women are doing in the coaching industry, trying to convince people to make them buy. So packaging and pricing is really key because your clients need you to charge the full value, not 10% of the 250K, not 25% of the value, but the full value, because you love them so much that you invite them to step up and say yes to the thing they want. And those who don't want it can go get a 10K offer somewhere else and get a 10K result, and that's okay. Let them be free to do whatever they want. Give your clients the freedom to say yes or no to themselves based on the investment to work with you, if that's what they're looking at. That's self-love. The third thing, self-love demands a certain level of visibility. And I don't mean visibility as 35 reels on social media or dancing on TikTok. When I say visibility, I mean showing up in integrity with your messaging. Because when your messaging is in integrity and aligned with the work that you're doing, you're not going to make people buy, convince them, or do objections or any of that crap. You're simply going to attract clients who raise their hands and say, you're the person I want to co-create with. You're the person that I want to work with to lose 100 pounds so I can have that baby, so I can balance my hormones and have the baby. You're the person I want to work with so that I can build communications and my better sex life with my husband. You're the one I want to work with so I can partner with God and grow in my marriage and in my relationship. You're the one I want to work with so that my teenage daughters and I can have a beautiful parenting mother-daughter relationship. You're the one that I want to work with so I can make $1 million a day because of your messaging. So showing up, selling with love means that your messaging is you love your clients so much, you're speaking the truth. You're calling them out on the thing they're not doing. You're creating transformational insights. So for the first time they see, oh my gosh, why has no one else told me this before? Where have you been all my life? How do you know that's the conversation I've been having with my husband for the last 10 years? How do you know this is how I feel about the divorce? How do you know this is the thing? Because for the first time, they have a coach, you, who loves them so much that you know what is most important to them, you know what they value the most, you know what they care about the most, you know what is the most useful thing to them about the offer and the result that you're co-creating together. You know what it means to them to have that result and why they think they want it. And you've spoken to them in a natural high-ticket sales conversation where you've dug deep 12 levels deeper to understand what they truly, truly want. Because they don't want to pass the CPA exam. They don't want to get a better job. They don't want to have better sex with their husbands. They don't want to just have a baby. What is it that they truly, truly want? My clients don't just want to make 7-figure years or 7-figure months or 6-figure weeks or whatever it is. That's not what they want. They want the thing that they think that 7-figure year or that 7-figure month is going to do for them. They want the spaciousness for creativity. They want the spaciousness and flexibility to travel and do whatever they want. They want the ability to say yes and no to things they don't want to do. They want the ability and the freedom to be able to say, this is what I'm going to do with my time. They don't want anyone to tell them what to do. and they want to simplify their lives and enjoy the better quality of life with their children and family and have a better relationship with God. But when they come in, they want to make 7 figures. So what does your client want? What is most important to them? 7 figures a month is not important to my clients, but that is the value that the coaching industry has taught them to say they want. So what does your client want in losing that weight, in having better communications with her husband, parenting with her children, in making the money, in whatever it is that you're coaching in? And your messaging needs to address that. So for the first time, she feels deeply seen, deeply heard. Because if you're selling her weight loss coaching so she can fit in the bikini, and all she wants is for her husband to look at her the way he looked at her on her wedding night, you are not speaking to your ideal client. If all your client wants to do is lose the weight, balance the hormones, and have the baby that the doctors have told her the last 15 years she could not have because she couldn't get pregnant, and you're talking about how she can fit into her skinny white jeans, you are not speaking to your client because you have no idea what she wants and she does not feel seen, heard, valued, or recognized. Selling with love is recognizing your client and seeing her in a way that no one else has seen her, listening to her in a way that no one else has ever done, and holding space for her to be herself so she can freely tell you 12 layers under what she wants in a natural high-ticket sales conversation. Yes, you're so good at sales and marketing. You can sell without talking to someone, but selling with love is having that sales conversation so you know what she truly, deeply wants. It's marketing on a platform in a way with integrity that doesn't involve you showing your Stripe accounts because your clients don't care how much money you made. Your clients don't care about your house. Your clients don't care about you. Your clients care about the thing that matters to them the most, and they want you to care about that. And selling with love means you show up and forget about yourself and just talk to them in a way that supports them to say, she's in my head. She's driving from DC to Connecticut, listening to your podcast. She has to park the car and cry because you literally see her soul. There's no way you would know this information if you didn't care so much and didn't love her so much. That is selling with love. It requires you to show up and be visible. Yeah, it requires you to show up and be visible. It requires an identity that has self-worth. You know, we do baseline stuff in the coaching industry. Love, health, whatever. That's baseline, superficial BS. Selling with love means knowing who Christ says you are. Knowing your worth in Christ and knowing that you don't have to prove anything to anyone and you're just worthy simply because Jesus says you are. So when you have the work, you value it at the full value simply because you're worthy. You have nothing to prove to anyone. You don't give a rat's ass what anyone is saying about you. You keep your eye on the prize, which is the value that your client wants to create in her life. You keep your eye on the prize. That is you being a vessel for the work God is doing through you. That is selling with love. Emptying your mind, your brain of all the mindset work, the breath work, the this and the that, and just recognizing and say, I am who God says I am. I remember who I am. Because when you remember who you are, you attract self-led women who remember who they are. When they hear the message and it feels like they're coming back home to themselves. Selling with love is being a leader and not trying to get somebody else's strategy or formula, because just like David and Jeremiah, when you were in your mother's womb, he wonderfully and fearfully made you and gave you everything you need for the assignment that he's called you to step into. And selling with love requires you to have the identity of the woman who sells the thing and makes the money and knows what to do with the money. Who makes the money because money for her is a tool, it's a service tool, it's a love language that supports her to sow more into God's kingdom and use her talents and her treasures and her gifts in the world to be a bigger blessing in the world for her family, her community, her church, her country, whatever it is that you do in her charity, whatever it is. Because it's simply a tool and does not define her life. It just gives her flexibility and choice to be a bigger blessing. And remember and be grateful for all that God says she is. That's selling with love. And that creates stress-free selling, stress-free high-ticket sales. Because no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's happening, no one can tell the difference between the good days and the bad days, between the ups and the downs, because you're simply being who God says you are, a natural extension of who you are. That's how you sell. There's no need to go take 5 years of 5 years of online courses, the new mindset course, buy that book. No. Simply be who God says you are and sell as you. There's no need for the makeup, no need to make yourself into what somebody wants you to be before they can buy from you. You speak only to the people who are going to raise their hand and say, oh my God, I want what you have. You simplify your life with 5 or 10 clients or 6 clients or 4 clients or 20 clients or whatever. And you sell your high-ticket coaching offers and create a profitable business that wraps around your life. So you love yourself first before the 7-figure months, before the 7-figure days. Because the 7-figure days don't make you love yourself. They give you flexibility. And for some people, a lot of stress. Because they realize for the first time you can't buy self-love. God gave that to you the day you were born. Let me know how this lands for you.